because basketball is a game of confidence too. So
Yeah.
you have to make sure you're improving at all facets of the game. So that's what I got to see. But I think that's a perfect transition on into the next segment, which we got the NBA Most Improved Player. I stated before at the beginning of the season, I thought the most improved player was going to be Domantas Sabonis because he's going to come back to start him a little bit, maybe get an All-Star nod. He's been playing well. Him and De'Aaron Fox for the Kings. I also wanted. Did I say Ben Simmons? I might have said Ben Simmons with like a runner-up type deal, but that might have changed for me a little bit. What's your take on the MIP so far? It's a long season.
So my prediction was Evan Mobley. Do I think he's improved a lot? Yes, but I think it's not enough like surface level stuff that people just is easy to see for him to actually get that consideration or that nod. So I think for me, as I think everyone's answer should be the same right now, it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And this boy, this man, like when you get what he's doing right now, he's doing essentially the same type of scoring that John Morant did last year, where it's like 17 to 18 points in the paint every game, but they're doing that at like an above 50 clip, which is like they're scoring like Giannis in the paint, but they're short guards. It makes no sense. And in his mid-range game, he's shooting like above 50 from the midi. So he's like a real throwback player to like the 2000s when I watch him. But then he has like that turkey jerkiness of the new era. So I just like the blend of the eras with him.
Yeah, like he's lanky. I don't want to say he's short, because bro, ain't he like 6'5"?
I mean, not short, but like, on the shorter end, you don't expect like a 5 guy to be up there top 3 in points per game in the paint.
That's like that is tough. But like you said though, that herky jerky, that he's kind of creative. Like you remember Alex and Mason? You remember how he's just shifty and stuff like that? Like I'm not saying he's like, oh, I just it's just like there's certain aspects of Alex's game that I'm like, all right.
They play off their pivot super well. Like he plays off his pivot so well. Like you watch Shai, he's going to a lot of times he gets in that paint and he's literally just going to pivot fake you until you finally bite and then boom. But
I'm glad you said Shai as well, because I also had him. If you look at again, you can look at either just watch him or you can look at numbers. Numbers wise, if you just look like points, rebounds, steals, blocks, stuff like that, he's putting up quality numbers across the board.
I think he's top 5 in steals and top 15 in blocks.
Exactly.
So that's a thing like guy too.
Exactly, like 2 steals and I think 1.5 blocks or something like that. Like that's pretty solid. And then in win shares, he's giving me two games, which that's attributing for how many wins he attributes for. And when I'm talking about win shares in like 2s, we're also talking about like Steph Curry, KD. Giannis actually does not have a 2 in the win shares. He's at 1.7. Really? JT 2.4, Luka at 2.7, and Shai's at a 2 even. So again, just showing you he's improved, and it's really the defensive end that's gotten it for me. Like offensively, I remember my boy Jordan was telling me, hey, he's a bucket, and I didn't really study that much about him, because like all I knew was, hey, he got traded for PG. Saw he was good on the Clippers, but cool. Then he gets to the Thunder. It's the Thunder. Like they're highlighting Lou Dort. No disrespect, but like Lou Dort in the grand scheme of the NBA is not doing much. So I didn't study them, but I paid attention. Knew he had it on the offense. Defensively, he has the physical tools. I like what I see out of OKC right now, especially if they get Chet back healthy and he can be productive along with a top draft pick potentially this year. OKC's looking prime, and they'll be having Shai with the MIP this year potentially. Although Kristaps Porzingis and Lauri Markkanen do get some love.
Lauri is the other one I was about to say is Lauri. I think Lauri got to be second, because what he's doing for that Jazz team is like, it's everything. Everything. When they need a big shot, they're looking at Lauri first.
Hey,
that means something.
Clarkson's cool too. But Lauri, I think, has separated himself over the last couple of games too. Like it does seem a little different now. Like that, I don't know if they would want to trade Lauri off this squad, which is wild because I thought they would want to go after Victor and Tank. But who knows? Maybe they ended up doing right by trying to work with Lauri. Like he signed
Yeah.
for like 18 mil for like another season or two. So
And the way the Timberwolves looking, they still might have a chance at Victor with the lottery odds. So they might have won out in the end. Oh,
that's so crazy. We got to see if they if they kept their pick or not though, because if they were able to retain this pick, that's maybe it'll work out. But if so, they're in better shape than the Lakers. I'll say that.
So now, even though it's early, I know it's early. Is that the worst trade we've ever seen in NBA history? Is that Jazz trade? Because look how terrible the Timberwolves look.
Nah, because I still don't. So I talked about this in another video. I don't think it's fair to say who won the Jazz, Cavs, Wolves trade, just because it's way too early. Like the Cavs are starting out solid, but what if they just like fall off for whatever reason? I said the Cavs, right? Because that's what I was thinking about. The Jazz, they sound similar. The Jazz, they starting out really well, but they could very easily fall off. And the Wolves have struggled, but we've seen good teams struggle and then turn it around. So like, it's way too early. And to be honest with you, I said the Wolves would be a 4 seed this year. I didn't have them as the title favorites though. Like I had them more so for next season. I hated that people are going at D'Lo. I kind of get it though, but it's too early for me personally to say the Wolves, but they have been playing worse.
The thing that scares me about the Timberwolves is like the way the Donovan Mitchell and like Rudy Gobert relationship was on the court. It looks the exact same with like Anthony Edwards, where it's like, I'm never gonna look at you roll into the basket. I can't trust you on the offensive end, and then you can see like it is. I don't know if it's Rudy Gobert specifically. I don't know what's going on with him, but Anthony Edwards just don't look engaged in games anymore, and I don't know why. So and that's the question I just want to know: does it have to do with Rudy Gobert coming in and like clogging stuff up in his eyes, or is it? I don't know.
I think it does play a factor because again, Rudy is not the most offensively polished player. So when I'm looking at like Ant, yeah, he want to shoot, but he want to throw that thing down too. And he's dunked the ball too. Don't get me wrong, but Rudy clogs the paint like Cat goes to the perimeter,
So before it was Cat at the 5, so like Cat shooting threes. So it's basically 5 out half the time they play. So it's a lot easier for him to get his. But with Rudy, like he has to be in the dunker slot, or else he's literally useless.
Exactly. But I do think too, Anthony Edwards I would expect him to start taking a lot more threes and mid ranges. Like you don't have to necessarily dunk the ball, and then when Rudy's out, that's when you attack. Like you don't have to. You can play 5 out. Just take Rudy out, and you can do that. Like just as the coach, I would notice these sort of things and then kind of make that adjustment. Because I honestly feel like that's what it is. Like you can easily have people. They're gonna play together, but you can have them have their own like play style come out in moments. It's just like, all right, bring Russ off the bench. Let him play the way he wants to play. But he's still gonna have to play with LeBron James. So I mean, like you can very easily like get these guys on track. Like Rudy knows he can't really be a scorer like that in the league. Yeah, he can get you 15 a game, but it's often like play. So like honestly, he has to accept the fact that he's really a role player. He just
and in Minnesota, I think it's tough for Minnesota because I think by the end of the season we will see that Rudy's minutes have to go down instead of be like this 35+ minute guy. He probably should be in the 20-25 range. But when you pay him that much and give up that much draft haul and players to not play him those starter minutes,
I mean,
so you're just stuck in a bind if you're that GM and coach.
So I think 20 is a little low. Like 25 to 28 might be cool, but that's close to starter minutes. The pay is what it is. Like you knew what you got when you signed up for it. So you're gonna have to suck that up for the next couple of years. and just bank on the fact that Cat is going to have to play more like Giannis, and Ant is going to have to be that guy, which both have the potential to be. Oh, and D'Lo is going to have to be more of a floor general. Again, all have the capability. They just have to do it. And the coaching staff might need to be a little bit better. But that's just me. Ime, maybe you want to give your shot with the Wolves.
Honestly, I think this is what they'll do. I think they'll. Who's their coach now? I can't even think of their coach. Is this a new coach? Or same one.
I think it's Chris Finch.
Okay, so I think what I think will end up happening is they'll get a head coach either some point this season or at the end of the off season. I think they'll give it one more try, and if it doesn't work, I think they will look to move Cat. It's a hot take, but I think
they do. I agree. I think they look to move Cat as well.
Do you know who my guess is? Is this the superstar? Well, not superstar. Is this the star that the Knicks finally make a playoff?
Who are they giving up? Julius Randle?
I mean, I don't know. I don't think it happened until next season, so I guess it depends on that. But is this the move they make to get somebody to New York to kind of start coaxing in the rest?
I would bring Cat, but at the same time, I know people from New York might not like Cat. I got a friend from New York.
You got soft skin,
yeah. They say Cat is Cat, and mind you, I'm giving you the PG version. Like, and they say it with pride, dog. Like stick chest out, everything with all emotion and passion. So that's I don't.
It's hard to play in New York. You gotta be built different.
It is. But I will say this: if they had gotten Donovan Mitchell first,
he was built for it.
Maybe. But we'll see how that shakes out. Are you got some time for some would you rathers real quick?
Gotcha.
Okay, bet. We're gonna hit one more highlight, but then after that we do some would you rathers, and then we call it a day. So hope y'all enjoy it so far.
I did not know you guys were still here. As you can see, we're at the back end of the show. No pun intended, but look, hope you all enjoyed it. And before you go, please subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow the IG account, share the content to anybody who's anybody. And most importantly, leave your thoughts and comments below. But I got to go back and play Buddy in 2K, so let me unmute him real quick. Excuse me. Hey, boss, I'm back. Nah, you better catch this word. You know we get buckets around here, too.